All right, good day. Welcome to the Gong Show, or the Show of Gongs, commonly known as Jeeps. Back at it again today. So I don't even know where I left off, honestly. Everything's just kind of melding together. But today, what I know that I'm working on is Leroy. I alluded to it on the last video-ish, the lack of spare tire and wheeling and all that sort of stuff. So it never had one when I got it from auction. And it was just something that I really thought about until going back over video footages through the national park, Big Bend, and through the rocky kind of west side of Texas, going up those rock ledges and seeing the sharp edges and puckering every time the tires are going over those, thinking, am I going to slice a tire? Now, I do have a tire repair kit, one of those little emergency ones with the plugs and the glue and stuff like that. So, but it really got me thinking, as we're tooling this thing around and especially driving it for multiple hours, we need to have a spare tire option. Normally I would, you buy 5 tires, right? When you get new tires, and then when you rotate the spare into it as you go. I've never done that. I never grew up doing that. I've always just, buy 4 new tires and then take one of the best of the old ones and put that onto a rim, and that's your new spare. Well, I didn't do that either. I actually bought a brand new, relatively cheap tire for what they are. 35 inches, not cheap. But I bought a new rim and a new tire to put on as a spare. It doesn't match the other ones. It's not a mud tire. It's actually an all-season, but I'll show it to you once I get there. Or it's an all-terrain tire. So, but what I want to do right now is get this old bumper off and get this jerry can contraption that we whipped up off. And I bought a brand new, oh, that's heavy, barricade bumper. So this one, it's not super expensive. It was actually on sale at Extreme Terrain. I bought it. They had a big sale on it. It was like, 40% off or something like that. So I picked it up with the tire carrier. It's, run of the mill, couple of shackles, no lights or nothing like that, because I really don't care. But it does have the 2-inch receiver on it, which I'm not a huge fan of because I already have a hitch, but it's a trade-off because now I can get a little bit more ground clearance for when we're going over these high ledges that we've found. So, a couple little things here and there. So I guess to start, what I got to do is put this heavy thing down and start tearing all this apart so that I can get this on with the tire carrier so I can get the spare mounted. So stick around. It's going to be a fun ride. Okay. Wrenches. I don't remember what size that is. It's one of them. Sure, we'll start here. 13 maybe? 13. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. Okay, so this is a contraption that we put on. I just made a little plate, put some spacers in there, and then just screwed these bolts into the factory holes. So it worked well for what it was. I'm going to have to take this apart and get these bolts out eventually, because I'm going to need to reuse those, but I think that will do for now. Actually, I think I can whip these off right now. Now, what size are all these? And the beauty part about this is I don't know which camera I'm looking at. The bolts are all still kind of factory. So I think I can get the impact in here and just zip these off. These look like about a 17-ish. Oh, I'm tired of this mess. Bring every size, because I don't know which one it is. Close to that one. What did I say, 17? Oh, it's an 18. Oh, I'm not going to be, oh yeah. Looks like it goes up into the frame. That's not too bad. Sure, and the exhaust is in the way. Uh-oh. Okay, that one's out. That one's out. Okay, that should be everything that's holding the bumper in. Let's get these up out of the way for now. Let's see if we can persuade this off. One side. I think it's just stuck. There it comes. Okay. Okay, I got to get better at this. So what I did now is to hold this. Sorry, I've been really horrible at following kind of as I've been going lately. So what I've done is there's just two bolts here with nuts on the back, and those I think are 18 millimeter on each side, and then there's one that's actually up, goes up through here, and then there's a nut cert up in the frame, and then that one just zips out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts, and the bumper just comes off, and that's assuming it's the factory bumper. The other one looks like it goes in through some different holes, but we'll get there. So now what I got to do is remove this hitch because I don't need it anymore. And I think it's just, I already got these inside ones out. So now I think it's just these ones here on the end. And that should be all that holds it. This thing is heavy. That's just gonna fall. Sweet. So one thing I noticed when I was pulling this apart, let me see if I can show you this. So these are, I've never seen these before. Mind you, I've never really done a Reese hitch before. It looks like it's some sort of universal nut cert thing, and you just kind of bend it to your will. And then once you get it in there, you can thread it in, then you got the tang to hold it, and I like this. This is a pretty cool thing. I might keep these. Put them in my toolbox, and they'll stay there forever and ever. Okay. Well, that went a lot easier than I had expected it was going to. So, great news. Okay, well, I got this off. I think I have some paper masking stuff and some paint and stuff. So I think I'm gonna, it makes sense, right? To clean that up. So I'm gonna paint that, I think. Okay, I have seen professional painters do this. I can't find my blue masking tape because I don't paint that often. But I've seen professionals do this and it works pretty well. Now, I am not a professional, but I've done this getting more. I think I'm getting better. So I'm gonna try and just kind of give one of these and try not to get it on the body paint. I wonder if I should change. Well, that's locked. Oh, there we go. Oh, that almost looks like professional. And I didn't get any on the paint. And I got it all down the lip. None on the bottom or the back side, but that's secondary. Not gonna worry about it for right now. Okay, give that a little bit to dry. Let me see if we can figure out how to mount this bad boy. Because it mounts differently just looking at it. It looks like I might have to drill some holes. No, I think we used the same mounting holes. I'm gonna read the instructions. If I can find them in this mess. This must be the instructions. Ah, there we go. Okay, step 1, remove the rear tire bracket and the 4 13mm securing the tire carrier. Yep. Step 2, remove the torque screws on the top and bottom holding the end caps of the rear. Yep. Using the 18mm socket, remove the 4 bolt. Yep. Side bumper away from back of vehicle. Yep. Using the supplied brackets and 18mm hardware, mount them to the vehicle in the factory mounting holes pictured. Okay, so that means I got to take these apart. This goes up. So this goes like this. Okay. Now the problem is I can't really tighten these up until I get the bumper on, because I don't know left to right if it's gonna fit. Okay, those are on. Step 7, slide the new bumper into position, the top mounting rod in line with the 4 holes of the top of the bumper. So I do have to kind of snug this up a little bit. So I need an 18mm wrench. Let's pick that up. I'm going to put it something like that. I don't have enough hands. Okay, one side. Okay. Did I mention this thing's heavy? Oh, there's lots of room to play. Left and right. Like, I mean, lots of room. Okay, so now that I got this in and mostly aligned, I think what I can do now is get under, get the 2 bolts in. I eyeballed it, and I'm close. So let's see exactly how close I am. These bolts should line up right with the threads underneath here. And I think I was about 1 millimeter off. Maybe a little more. Is that gonna thread in? These things are pretty forgiving, which is great. Because lately I've been function over form, but I think I should be able to get this pretty darn close. Okay, the struggles of working in 90+ degree heat. The cameras turned off because they got hot. But I didn't do a whole bunch. So all I did was I got the sides lined up and got those bolts in. I ended up buggering up the threads here, so I had to run a tap in and get them fixed. Sucks, but not the end of the world. I should probably put this tap and die set away before I trip all over it. I'm glad I have this little set though. When you screw something up, you can chase threads. But let that be a lesson. Don't screw up threads, and then you wouldn't need it. So anyway, okay, let's cinch these down. This is all, it's not lined up 100% like the slots, but we're not in a fashion show. We're function over form. So I got this impact, before y'all give me grief about using an impact, I got it set to the smallest setting, which is about 100 foot-pounds. So that will be, I guess I can't really pull on that. That's greasy. Okay, so I think that's all the bolts that hold this on. It seems legit. Let me check the instructions that I rolled all over. Slide the new bumper on. You may have to remove the plate. Oh yeah, nope, I didn't have to do that. Using 18mm socket and washers and nuts, install the rear bumper onto the vehicle. Leaving it loose. Once in place, center it up with the bolts. Install the swing arm. All right. Woohoo! Then I'm on the second page. Nope, that was the last page. So now we're installing the swing arm. Install the top cap and secure it using the hex bolt. Okay, let's open this up. Okay, let's make sure we scratch this all up before we get it on. Gotta make it look used to match the rest of the Jeep. You know, can't have new shiny things. Yeah, so that looks like the swing arm side, which is legit. So I should just be able to do this and that, like that. Okay, next part of the instructions. That's using hex bolt. Got more hardware. I'm not going to steal it. I bought it, for crying out loud. Oh. Where's the hex bolt? Must be in that bag. How does this go? Like that. Now I get it. That's not lined up. Okay, so this should go on this side, like so. You set Allen keys. Metric or standard? Take your bets. Metric or standard? Standard. Or are these metric? No, they're metric. Good old made in the USA. Take that. I think I have to... Do I have to take off this license plate bracket? No. Yep. This doesn't work with the factory license plate bracket. Oh, you're kidding me. I can't really... Okay, so ran into a little bit of a snag, and it was probably written somewhere deep in the fine print, but the factory license plate mount actually runs into the latch mechanism here, right on the corner. So I got a couple different options. One, I can forego this and form the plate right to the back of the Jeep, which I've seen before. People kind of do that. I can get a different mount that brings it up a little bit, but I got to keep in mind there's a lot of grime and stuff back here. I don't think I can get that paint cleaned. Or the third one is to nip this corner off. Just kind of lightly trim it, because when this is in, I mean, you're not going to see it anyway. That does that. So the only thing is getting it on and off. It runs into it. Here, let me show you. Let me bring you in close here. So this is what I'm talking about, right there. That latch, the way that it winds in. So it when you unlatch it, that pin will hit the license plate cover, or the license plate mount. So, I mean, see, so that's what I'm saying. I can nip off that corner. It just has to twist kind of past. Let me see if I can work this. I'll be right back. I think I got the problem solved. I just buffed off the corner of that with my handy dandy little 80 grit flapper dealy-doo. And it seems to have gone in here. So let me swing this in. You can see it there. It just clears the corner, and then latch. Now unlatching, it does hit a little bit, but it just pops right out. So for who it's for and what we're doing, I think that's going to work just fine. I'm hoping it'll kind of wear in a little bit. That plastic it's so hot that plastic is just like butter. It'll kind of move where it needs to move. So I'm going to finish getting this mount, and then we'll get onto the spare tire. Okay, I did a little bit because summer and cameras don't mix. But the only thing I've done is I finished mounting this. It's all good. It was kind of catching the license plate, so I worked a little magic there. And then I mounted this on just 4 18mm bolts locked. And that's, you need to watch me doing that. The only thing that took me a little time is I had to find my 19 millimeter wrench ish, because the set doesn't have a 19, it goes 18 to 21. So the lock nuts here are a little bit bigger than 18, and I don't have a standard wrench that would fit. So anyway, so where I'm at now is basically getting the spare tire mounted. Now this has an adjustable bracket. You can probably see it here. This can obviously adjust depending on your backspacing, on your or your offset on your rim, so that you can, you know, get it as tight as you can without rubbing. So I'm just going to go grab Tanya, so I'm not lugging this 35-inch tire by myself, because I'm old and my back hurts and my shoulder hurts, and I don't feel like limping around for the rest of the weekend, because we're actually going out again, if I didn't mention that at the beginning. Hence the reason why I'm kind of rushing to do this. I want to get this thing on. Okay, let me go grab Tanya. We'll get this tire into position, although she's as gimpy as I am, so we'll see how this goes. I really don't want to lift it up and down more than I have to. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I got the tire on. Tanya came out and helped me. I didn't videotape it because you didn't need to see two old people grunting and groaning and turn, twist, no lift, no higher, no. You get the idea. So I got it on with a couple of lug nuts. Now I was just trying to figure out this back spacing. You can see, I think I showed it to you. It's got an adjustment back here. So right now it says that this tire carrier is good for a 37-inch tire. So obviously that's going to be a bit wider, but these are a 12.5 inch, and I've got the spacer pushed all the way in, and I've got about 5/8 of an inch gap between the tire and the tire carrier, which I think I can live with. I'm not really going to sweat that. So I'm just going to leave it mounted and see if I can tighten these bolts with what I have in my hands. Nope, I need a 19. I think I should complain to management. Can I speak to the manager? Because the last thing I want is a spare tire flying off. All right, so those bolts, everything was metric except for the ones on the tire carrier. Those were standard. They were a 3/4. They were a 3/4 inch. Everything else was metric. So I got two of the lug nuts on. I'm going to take these off and actually put the security key, the splined ones on. I have a bunch of spares because I bought all new ones. So that way I don't have two different sockets to take the tires off. And then I think that's going to do it for this bad boy. So performance-wise, seems to work as it should. Goes in like butter, and click. All mounted. It's a little wobbly. Too sure why that's flexing so much. There's no other mounts. Okay, so that's gonna do it. I'm gonna see if there's a way to stiffen this up, or if that's the way I have to live with it. I'll keep you posted on that stuff. So I think that's gonna do it for today. Got that all done, a quick one and done job. Now we're ready for the weekend. So yeah, thanks everyone. Subscribe. Definitely help us out. That would be super. Like I've said in a million videos, I'm not gonna raid your garden or knock on your door or sift through your wallet. It helps us in the long run. So with that, we'll see you on the next one.